know what's going on, but I bought ceiling paint, flat ceiling paint, literally ceiling paint, to touch up where I changed out the light fixture. I don't know if maybe I just need to wait like a lot longer for the paint to dry, but dang. What? All right, let me share what I have planned for this whole TV thing. I've been wanting a frame TV for a while. I don't have that in my budget though. If you don't know what a frame TV is, it's basically a TV that sits really flush to the wall and it can display a wide range of artwork, and it has a little bezel that attaches to the TV to make it look like it's framed art. So they're really cool. But like I said, I don't have the budget to buy one. So I am going to try and turn my TV into a frame TV. Let me show you what I have planned. Okay, so frame TV sits pretty much flush to the wall. I chose a TV mount that is slim so that I could get this look. I'm gonna link here the one that I purchased. You can get it for different sized TVs. I chose the fixed version. I think you can do the tilt or swivel or something. The fixed version keeps it as close to the wall as possible. My TV is already really thin too, so that is really helpful. But also it needs a frame and art. I'll go over the frame part later. For now, let me show you guys how I figured out how to display art on my TV. All right, so there are different ways to display art on your TV. And I have explored a few options, but my favorite option so far is this app that I downloaded. I am using my I have a smart TV, but this app it's only supported by like Apple TV, Fire TV, Roku. So I stuck in my Fire Stick, downloaded this app. There's another app that's actually similar to this one, called Artcast, that also displays art, but there's a number of reasons why PixArt Gallery, which is the one that I like the best, is better. This isn't like an ad or anything. I just found this on. So I did the subscription. It's like $3.99 a month. You can get some free images, but with the subscription, I think you get 25,000 pieces of art. So that's really cool. And any day now. Okay, here are my favorites. I'm just gonna show you guys what this looks like. Whoa. It even has a little crackle and everything. How cool is that? So if I wanted to make this look even more realistic, I could go and like change my brightness settings on my TV, which I would probably do if I was taking photos of the living room. So yeah, how easy was that? All right, so my next step is to figure out a way to add a frame to this TV to make it look like actual artwork. The frame TV has a bezel that's like magnetic. It's really thin. I would like to go for more of an antique look. I've actually seen some replica, like attachable frames for frame TVs that I really liked. So what I'm going to do is build my own frame and find a way to attach it to my TV. And I'm so excited. I am at Home Depot. I'm looking for my trim for the TV. I'm going to frame it out like a picture frame, and I'm gonna look for some molding that's got some detail that looks similar to like an antique frame, and let's see what I can find. All right, I decided on the one that I showed you guys earlier. It just looks the most like a frame. It's got that chunky edge. Just sit right about here. I don't want it to cover up any of the screen, but it also isn't gonna be the complete width of or the length of the TV, because then the frame will sit here. So measured from here to there, and then same thing across. And then added a few inches to the end of each measurement so that I knew like I have enough room to make my angled cuts. And went ahead and had the pieces cut at Home Depot so I could fit them in my car. Okay, so my shorter piece will be 32 inches exactly. So I've already come over here and marked. I've come down a couple of inches because I'm gonna need some room to cut my angle, and then marked 32 inches down here. So when I go out to cut, I'm gonna cut my at a 45-degree angle here, and then at a 45-degree angle here. So this will be that outside piece, and I'll repeat for the other side, and then the top and the bottom pieces. My pieces are cut. This one's up from a nap and this one's home from school, so this is gonna have to wait until tomorrow. But I've got my 4 pieces. I'm going to attach them to each other, paint, and then figure out how to hang it on the TV for my next steps. I did get these little corner clamps for clamping the pieces of wood together, but this is actually not big enough to hold on to my molding. So I might run out and try and find another one that will work, or just wing it. So, yay. All right, so here's the plan. I've got wood glue and my brad nailer. The wood glue needs to be clamped for about 20 to 30 minutes. So what I'm gonna do is put in some glue, clamp this tightly for about 30 minutes, and then repeat for the remaining 3 corners. After the wood, or after the clamp comes off, I will put in maybe 2 brad nails, just to make sure that it stays secure. So, okay, I just glued this one. I'll actually probably put in the nails while I have the clamp on, just because that I feel like makes the most sense. But I really am loving this. I can't imagine doing this without a corner clamp. By the way, this is like $10 at Home Depot. So yeah, it's really cool. Okay, I brought this out to the garage, and I don't know why I didn't even think of this, but I was worried about my nails possibly being just slightly crooked and then coming through the back or the front of the frame. So I actually brought out my staple gun. This is one that I've already done. So I put the wood glue on, the clamp, let it sit for a little bit, and while it was sitting in the clamp, I just came in with my staple gun. Probably overdid it, but really that doesn't matter. I think that this is something that is just personal preference. I didn't want to risk the nail coming out and then having to pull it out and mess up the frame. So I feel like this is safer and even a little bit more secure. I'll show you guys the length of staples I'm using. I'm using my staple gun that I used on my chair project. You could use a handheld squeeze stapler too, but I just have this and it's way easier. So it's looking good. And filling in any gaps. You should use wood filler for this, but I can't find my wood filler anywhere. I know I have it, I just can't find it, so I'm using some spackling instead, and it's working just fine. So next step will be paint. I just wiped down the frame with a damp rag to make sure I got all of the sawdust and stuff off of it, and now I'm going to go in and paint. This is Canyon Black and Satin. It's my favorite spray paint. It's going to be black, but then I'm going to come in and tape off this middle piece and then go in with Rub and Buff and antique brass so that it's going to have that detail. I'm doing this because I want it to look like a vintage frame. Okay, now I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to attach the frame to the TV. I have this leftover piece of 1x2 from an old project, and I've got this Command Velcro strip. I put put one little piece of Velcro the other side of this on top of the TV. And I think what I'm gonna do is nail this to the back of the frame on the top, and then put the other piece of Velcro on the bottom, so that way I can just Velcro the frame right onto the TV. Okay, the paint is dry. I am taping off the part that I want to go in with Rub and Buff on. There's like this little divot right here, and that's where I'm gonna put the tape on this end. And then there's this little lip that I'm gonna put the tape on this side, so this will be the gold piece. So I'll do that. I'll tape it off all the way around and then brush on the Rub and Buff. Okay, it's reveal time, but I'm not ready yet. I actually had a little mess up, and I swear if you're a new follower, I don't always mess up on my DIYs, just the last 2 times. I ended up cutting one piece a little bit too short, I think because I made the measurement on the wrong end. Anyway, something I totally should have caught. So I'm gonna start over. Anyway, I try to quickly explain what I did wrong. So if you remember when I was measuring, I was explaining that you have to kind of sit on your TV and that cuts go angled. Yeah, don't do that. I wanted to see if I could find a quicker method than the wood glue because it and cures in 1 hour. So I'm really happy with this, and it's so much faster, so much easier. You squeeze it out. It's like 2 different liquids, and you squeeze a little bit out, and then you mix it together with your little, super easy. This was like $5. All right, guys, let me talk about it. It's so beautiful. I was definitely a little bit close to the buffet, but we already had the TV mounted before I made these plans, and we're not about to drill a bunch of new holes in the wall to mount the TV an inch higher, so I'm just gonna deal with it. Also, the frame sits like a sliver away from the edge of the TV. Mostly it's because we have like our TV edge right there is like less than an eighth of an inch. And if I made the frame any smaller, then the wood would be sitting on the TV face, and I didn't want that, but that's not even noticeable from back here. Also, it just really looks like an antique frame. It blows me away. The Rub and Buff really helps with that. It's not. I was about to use the Velcro. I realized that it was going to add more height, and I didn't want to play around with that. This seemed more practical and stable, and it was just really simple. Overall, I'm just so happy with it. Got it in my highlights on my page. I just get the question, does your TV turn off and on? Okay, since the sensor is covered, and I didn't even check. So let's find out. Yes. If not though, I did think about this earlier. If not, I probably would just mark like my sensor. Let's see. I think my sensor is, wow, I don't even know where my sensor is, honestly. Dot or whatever. I could go in with a drill bit and drill a hole straight through the frame, which probably wouldn't be noticeable if I filled it in with paint. So